You spot a competitor launching a new capability, and the immediate reflex is to add it to your own roadmap. It feels like playing defense, but over a few quarters, that reactive building results in a bloated, unfocused interface that fails the market. The Kano model tracks how users value these capabilities over time. Look at what happens to a delighter feature after launch. Almost immediately, the curve drifts downward as yesterday's innovation decay into today's basic expectation. This creates a trap of diminishing returns. As you pour engineering hours into matching every competitor feature, the performance curve extends further to the right, representing your massive effort, but it yields zero impact on user happiness. You are burning resources just to stay in the game. Tracking features in this way is a race to the bottom. Parity only serves to prevent immediate disqualification, not to win the market. Executives often fall into the trap of presenting a strategy that is actually just a laundry list of performance metrics. Success hinges on picking a specific target segment and identifying the painful trade-offs required to serve them uniquely. The DHM framework defines a winning strategy through 3 pillars: your ability to delight the customer, your plan to be hard to copy, and your method for enhancing margins. Building these structural advantages requires a difficult choice. You have to intentionally underinvest in short-term feature requests and accept visible gaps in the product, deliberately draining resources from immediate needs to fund long-term leverage. When top executives stand in front of their boards, this is how they defend high-stakes resource allocation. They move past the product backlog to focus entirely on building structural advantage. Winning requires shifting the organization away from a safe tech list and toward a market position defined by structural differentiation. We can categorize these advantages into 3 specific plays. The first is blue ocean contraction, the practice of intentionally eliminating industry-standard features. The ERRC matrix helps identify opportunities by deciding what to eliminate, reduce, raise, and create. You achieve lowered costs by cutting industry norms and stripping out complex dashboards. Shedding this weight creates uncontested market space, attracting buyers previously overwhelmed by legacy tools. Expect intense pushback from your sales team. They rely on checking every box on traditional enterprise RFPs, and a contraction strategy removes standard talking points. Blue ocean contraction relies on the courage to do less. You are deliberately choosing to ignore mainstream users to deeply delight a specific, overserved niche. The second play is building a product-led growth ecosystem designed around multiplayer collaboration. You remove friction by giving the core product value away for free. Then you engineer the user experience so the tool only functions at its full potential when a user invites their teammates. This generates a viral loop. As user A invites user B, the network expands exponentially, turning the product itself into your primary distribution channel. Once this takes hold, customer acquisition cost drops aggressively toward 0. The users do the selling for you. This path requires deferring short-term revenue and absorbing massive upfront investments in low-latency infrastructure. You also face the risk of supporting millions of free users who may never convert. The entrenched collaborative behavior of an entire team creates a barrier that makes switching to a competitor unthinkable. The final and most ambitious play is platform and vertical integration. This involves taking absolute ownership of the entire value chain or building open APIs that act as the sole bridge connecting producers and consumers. This level of control provides unparalleled quality assurance and superior unit economics. It creates structural lock-in for third-party developers who build their businesses on top of your foundation. That developer lock-in creates a moat competitors cannot replicate by updating a user interface. They must rebuild the entire ecosystem from the ground up. This is capital-intensive and carries a slow time to market. You sacrifice agile, short-term wins because building the foundation takes years of focused effort. These are high-stakes bets that require immense executive patience before the structural advantage finally materializes. We can map your organizational reality to the correct strategic posture using a simple decision tree. Are you in a highly commoditized market? If so, apply the blue ocean ERRC contraction and start cutting standard features to find a new niche. Is your product inherently collaborative? If its value increases as teammates join, you should lean heavily into PLG viral loops. Do you possess a massive technical or infrastructure advantage that others lack? If so, you should build a platform ecosystem. Product strategy functions as a calculated filter, a list of lucrative ideas you are explicitly choosing to ignore to maintain focus. For product managers trapped in execution, your first step is to stop presenting competitor feature lists as a strategy. Use the Kano model and the DHM framework to propose a single, hard-to-copy delighter. Outline the costs, name the compromises, and defend that trade-off with a rigorous 6-page narrative. If you are a product executive or founder, your primary job is to define the boundary lines of your strategy and fiercely protect them. If you commit to a product-led growth strategy, you must shield your product teams from sales reps who demand one-off features to close a specific deal. You have to hold the line. Sustained market leadership comes down to the strength of your defensible compromises. Choose yours wisely.